Good evening. Welcome to this public presentation on the State Route 46 East Union Road Intersection Improvements Project that is being jointly implemented by the City of Paso Robles and Caltrans District 5. In accordance with Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, Caltrans will make every effort to ensure non-discrimination in all of its programs and activities, and that services and benefits are fairly distributed to all people. In addition, Caltrans will facilitate meaningful participation in the transportation planning process in a non-discriminatory manner. Caltrans Title VI policies can be found by navigating to the project website shown on the screen and clicking on the Title VI tab. Voluntary surveys are located on the tables at this meeting and can be submitted by placing in the Title VI survey box. The purpose of this presentation is to inform you of the project's background and status, describe the project and impacts, and provide information on how to submit comments on the draft environmental document. This presentation also provides a record of public outreach and participation. The project history dates back to 2009, when Caltrans District 5 completed the State Route 46 East Comprehensive Corridor Study. The study identified this project as a high priority location for improvement. Caltrans, the city, and SLOCOG have continued in their partnership to advance this project. At the present time, a draft project report was prepared and draft environmental document has been released for 30-day public review. Project site is in northeastern Paso Robles, approximately 2 miles east of the US 101 and State Route 46 East interchange. The project limits and footprint cover the State Route 46 East Mainline corridor extending from west of the Golden Hill Road intersection and east through the intersection with Airport Road. This segment of State Route 46 currently carries an annual average daily traffic of approximately 25,000 vehicles per day through the project limits, intersecting cross streets such as Golden Hill Road, Union Road, and Airport Road carry average daily traffic demands ranging from approximately 5,000 to 9,000 vehicles per day. The project corridor experiences significantly higher than average traffic demands during summer peak months, especially on Fridays and weekends. State Route 46 intersections at Union Road and Airport Road are both unsignalized side street stop-controlled intersections that experience degraded level of service F operations under weekday AM peak hour and weekday and Friday PM peak hour conditions. This live video shows an aerial view of typical traffic operations and turning movements at the existing Airport Road intersection with State Route 46 East. Also, traffic operations at the nearby Union Road intersection can occasionally be seen in the distance. The video provides a good example of existing traffic flow within the project limits. The project intersections, as well as the mainline segment, currently experience collision rates that well exceed the statewide average for similar facilities. Speeding on the mainline and failure to yield at the stop sign controlled intersections are the most frequently reported primary collision factors. The purpose of this project is to improve vehicular access, to reduce traffic delays, and improve accessibility and connectivity for bikes and pedestrians. The need for this project is driven by existing limited access and connectivity across the State Route 46 corridor. The existing at-grade intersections experience high traffic delays, and there is currently a lack of multimodal connectivity across the project corridor. The project approval environmental document process has identified a single build alternative for the project that would be constructed in 2 phases. Phase 1 would entail construction of a new overcrossing for Union Road at State Route 46 and local street connections to the overcrossing. Phase 2 would expand the overcrossing to a full interchange with construction of State Route 46 directional ramps. As depicted in this high-level illustration, the proposed Phase 1 improvements include a new Union Road overcrossing at the State Route 46 intersection, realignment of Union Road and construction of a Union Road connector from State Route 46 eastbound, right turn only access restrictions at the Airport Road intersection, roundabouts at the Union Road extension intersections, and construction of a mainline median barrier through the project limits. This more detailed illustration shows the proposed Phase 1 roundabout on the north side of State Route 46 at the intersection of the Union Road extension and Tractor Street extension. As part of Phase 1, another roundabout is proposed on the south side of State Route 46 at the intersection of Union Road extension and realigned Union Road. This pictorial simulation illustrates the 2-lane Union Road overcrossing proposed in Phase 1. The proposed Phase 2 improvements are the final phase of the project. As shown in this high-level illustration, the Union Road overcrossing would be expanded to a full interchange with construction of directional State Route 46 ramps. A westbound collector distributor system would also be constructed, which would result in right turn only access restrictions at the State Route 46 and Golden Hill intersection. The State Route 46 and Airport Road intersection would be fully eliminated in Phase 2. As depicted in this more detailed illustration, directional westbound ramps would form a signalized ramp terminal intersection on the north side of State Route 46 and to the south of the Tractor Street roundabout intersection. Also, in Phase 2, directional eastbound ramps would form a signalized ramp terminal intersection on the south side of State Route 46 and to the north of the realigned Union Road roundabout intersection. This pictorial simulation illustrates the proposed Phase 2 improvements looking west from near Airport Road. The traffic-related operational effects created by the build alternative include elimination of left turn conflicts at the existing unsignalized at-grade intersections, improvements of mainline traffic operations, enhanced multimodal connectivity, and rerouting of traffic from existing at-grade intersections to the proposed overcrossing and interchange. From a traffic operations standpoint, with completion of Phase 1 improvements, the existing at-grade State Route 46 intersections at Union Road and Airport Road would improve peak hour operations to level of service C or better conditions. With completion of Phase 2 improvements, all existing mainline at-grade intersections within the project limits would be effectively eliminated. Caltrans and the city prepared a draft environmental document which consists of a joint initial study and environmental assessment in compliance with the California Environmental Quality Act, or CEQA, and the National Environmental Policy Act, or NEPA. This document analyzes and discloses environmental effects and is supported by a range of detailed technical studies. Avoidance, minimization, and mitigation measures are provided to reduce potential impacts associated with the proposed project. The draft environmental document concluded that the build alternative would not result in significant adverse effects on the environment under NEPA. Impacts under CEQA would be less than significant with mitigation. Caltrans intends to adopt a mitigated negative declaration under CEQA and a finding of no significant impact under NEPA prior to final project approval. 6 key views within the project area were included in the draft environmental document's visual analysis to determine the potential effects to visual resources. The build alternative would increase the visual hardscape within the project area. However, landscaping, aesthetic treatments, and contour grading with slope rounding would minimize visual impacts and are included as CEQA mitigation measures. Land acquisition would be required for both phases of the build alternative. Temporary construction easements are required for access and staging. Permanent land acquisition would be needed for new right-of-way. Implementation of the build alternative would require the relocation of one business and one residence. The project would comply with the requirements of the Uniform Relocation Assistance and Real Property Acquisition Policies Act of 1970 and provide property owners with just compensation and fair market value for their property. The draft environmental document analyzes impacts related to natural communities, wetlands and waters, special status plants and animals, and threatened and endangered species. The proposed project would result in potential impacts to biological resources. Adverse effects would not occur with implementation of avoidance, minimization, and mitigation measures. Compensatory mitigation is required for impacts related to jurisdictional waters and the San Joaquin Kit Fox. This image shows the limits of jurisdictional waters associated with Hero Creek within the project limits. These areas are under the jurisdiction of the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers, the Regional Water Quality Control Board, and the California Department of Fish and Wildlife. Permit approval from the appropriate jurisdictional agencies would be required. The environmental document analyzes potential impacts related to cultural and tribal cultural resources per CEQA, NEPA, and Section 106 of the National Historic Protection Act. The build alternative would adhere to the requirements specified in the project's programmatic agreement and cultural resources management plan. Construction activities have the potential to impact the Johnson House, which is eligible for listing in the National Register of Historic Places and the California Register of Historic Resources. Impacts would be minimized through the implementation of a vibration monitoring plan and the limiting of vibratory and static rollers. As requested, Native American tribal representatives would be invited to monitor construction activities. Barney Schwartz Park, Almendra Court Trail, and the Johnson House were determined to be subject to the provisions of Section 4F of the Code of Federal Regulations. The Section 4F determination for Almendra Court would be no use. Caltrans made a finding of no adverse effect for the Johnson House in accordance with federal regulations, and the California State Historic Preservation Office provided concurrence. De minimis impact determination for Barney Schwartz Park and the Johnson House were made in the project's draft environmental document. This figure depicts the project study area with identified resources subject to Section 4F and Section 106. The project is currently in the last stages of project approval and environmental document. The project's draft environmental document has been released for 30-day public review. Anticipated project milestones are listed on the screen. Please note that these dates are subject to change based on funding availability and represent the current best estimate. The City of Paso Robles is the project's proponent and funding applicant. Caltrans is the lead agency for both NEPA and CEQA approval. SLOCOG is the regional metropolitan planning organization assisting the city with project funding. The environmental document, along with other project information, is available for review and copying at the Caltrans District 5 office at 50 Higuera Street in San Luis Obispo, Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. The document is also available to review at the Paso Robles City Library at 1000 Spring Street in downtown Paso Robles. A copy is available online at the project website listed on the screen. Paper copies of the document can be provided upon request. Ask that you provide your comments in writing so they are accurately recorded. There are 4 ways for you to do so. You may complete a comment form and drop it off in the comment box at the public meeting. A certified court reporter is on hand at the public meeting to take your comments if you prefer. Written comments will also be accepted by mail or email sent to the attention of Matt Fowler with Caltrans. Please see the address provided on the screen. Comments are requested by September 1st, 2023, and please remember to include your street address and email address if you'd like to be added to the project mailing list for updates. Thank you very much for your time and interest in this project. If you still have questions, you can contact Matt Fowler, Caltrans Environmental Branch Chief, by phone at 805-779-0793 or by email or mail at the address shown here on the screen. We thank you for your participation and feedback. Please take the time to view the exhibit boards placed about the room. Staff is on hand to answer your questions about the project.